Morning, Auveen. Lovely to talk to you again.
Hi, Richie. How are you?
Regarding Blossom, and I'm delighted to talk to you today to celebrate the United Nations International Day for People with Disabilities. Um, Blossom is an organisation that's very, very close to my heart. Very passionate about Blossom for the work that you do, that you continue to do. And my own daughter has been through Blossom, so it means an awful lot
Right.
to me. So appreciate you taking the time today to talk
Delighted.
to us.
Always happy to talk to our friends in BT, and always delighted to get the opportunity to speak about our work here in Blossom.
Stuff. So, Auveen, could I ask you just in relation, say, to Blossom Ireland, how and why did Blossom start?
Yeah, I suppose, as you know, Richie, I'm first and foremost, I'm a parent. So my son Rory has an intellectual disability. I also have two daughters. So back in 2010, when Blossom was first founded, it was really because of the need within my own home. I basically wanted Rory to have the same opportunities as his sisters did. And at that stage, they were all quite young. They were primary school age, and the girls had pick and choice of summer camps, and Rory didn't. So that's basically, I wanted him to get the same chance to go to somewhere where he would be understood, where his needs were met, where he would make friends and above all have fun. And then likewise for me as a parent, that I was dropping him somewhere I knew I could walk away without a backward glance. So that's how we started. So back in 2010, I think we had about 23 young people, children come to camps, and it grew as the years went on. The kids also grew. And as they became teenagers, we started to realize the need was much bigger actually for the teenagers. What typically kind of can happen for these young people with intellectual disabilities is they're treated as children up until they leave school, and then suddenly they're expected to be adults. They never get the chance to be proper teenagers and to do things that all of us do take for granted without our parents there, such as going to the shops, meeting their friends in town, going to the cinema, going to cafes, all those skills that are vital steps along the path to independence as an adult. So you can stop me at any stage, Richie, if I'm talking too much. But I suppose now what we focus on is our Blossom Personal Empowerment Programme, which I know Amy has partaken in as well. So that's very much about focusing on those skills that are vital for independence as an adult, particularly around the areas of understanding their strengths, understanding how to speak up for themselves, how to have an opinion, how to problem solve. So if the bus doesn't show up when the bus is supposed to come, what do you do? Or if you're having a bad day, how do you, manage your own emotions and all that kind of stuff. So I suppose that's where we've started. That's where we're a whistle-stop tour of where we are now.
And in relation to the personal empowerment program, as you say, Amy has been through that program, and what I felt it gave Amy is a huge amount of confidence for her own independence. Simple things like learning how to go on the bus with her peers. She's done that, how to cross the road safely, and then things that we do every day of the week. She was able to go in, have a cup of tea, or sit down, have a juice with her own peers, and then things like the social skills that they gave her, they give confidence then to the family. So, which is for me is as important when you see your child having those independent social skills. But things like, say, Amy, a lot of the other kids would have a lot of sensory issues. So when it came to, say, the emotion color wheel that I know that you do, so that children were able to identify their emotions through the wheels or the body maps that, again, I know the kids would talk through. Could I just ask you about the impact of those services that you offer and what the impact has been?
Yeah, so I suppose it's like you say, you need to understand yourself, and you need to understand your own strengths and how to manage your own emotions to really thrive, I suppose, as an adult. So I know, like what you said with Amy there, so through the coping skills, through use of color, she was able to identify what part of her body she was feeling emotion in. And that's quite powerful, when you suddenly get to grips with your own emotions. And we've recently launched a new course under the Personal Empowerment Programme called Uniquely Me, which is all about learning what it means to you to have a disability, and giving them the tools and the skills to speak about it in a positive way. So we had, I don't know if anyone watching saw this week's Health and Living supplement in The Independent, but they profiled Dylan, who was a young man just completed the Uniquely Me course with us. And Dylan has Down syndrome. And at the start of the course, when he was asked to talk about his disability, his head went down and he said, you know, he doesn't like talking about his disability. It's a very negative thing for him. And his family told us he had been bullied in school, so he just had a negative association with it. But through the course and through meeting others on the course who had different disabilities, he started to understand, oh, okay, it's just part of who I am. And he now has the language and the tools to be able to tell people about his disability and to understand there are times he does need help and support, and that's okay. You just ask for that. And the whole article on Sunday was kind of, his mum said, it's like she told me he's like he had a big lump in his throat, and now that's gone. It's like a relief to him. He now knows how to talk about this thing. So that's hugely powerful, and that's just one of the stories. And I suppose that's, as the name says, it's the personal empowerment piece. And I guess research shows, you know, all the practical skills in terms of getting a job and work experience, that you won't thrive in the workplace unless you have these other skills as well. So I suppose that's where our focus is now going forward.
And do you mind me asking you, I know, say, I'm very proud of it personally, that BT have a long established relationship now with Blossom Ireland, and the support that BT has given to Blossom. Can I ask you, what has that allowed Blossom to achieve?
Yeah, so as you said, I don't know how many years it is now, Richie, but it must be 7 or 8 years since
Easily,
we
yeah.
first got our first financial support from Blossom. But you've been great champions of our work always. And I think it was that year that you invited Shay Walsh and Padraig out to see our camps so that they could see firsthand the impact that the money was having. And since that, we've grown so much since then, and you've been there with us along the way. So since, you know, the program that Amy has come to, which has been based here in North Dublin, was limited to only people who are able to come to us physically here in Dublin. So we were looking for a way. We knew the program was working. We knew it was having an impact. How could we bring it to more young people around the country? So we've now, over the last year, developed our digital platform. So we have a hybrid model of delivery now, My Blossom Channel. So we bring the learning elements and courses from the personal empowerment program and deliver them, as I say, via the hybrid model. And we are now we're working with young people in 12 counties and counting. We've worked with over 70 young people alone since January of this year. So having BT support every year, knowing that there's a guaranteed amount of money that comes in, that we don't have to do a big campaign to get, we don't have to do interviews, we don't have to do massive application forms or anything. You know, it just comes and you put your trust in us that we will spend it, and I can guarantee you every cent of that money is spent wisely. And I can't thank you enough for that sort of freedom. For us, it allows us to focus on where it matters and not be focusing on how will we get more money. We still have to do that, but at least you ease that burden a little bit.
It's great to see the kids from outside of Dublin and to see Blossom grown. I knew it had grown. I wasn't aware that it had gone to 12 counties and probably the four provinces of Ireland.
Yeah,
so
we've even had an
fantastic.
inquiry from the UK. We believe we're the only fully accessible digital learning platform in the UK and Ireland and beyond. So when I say fully accessible, it's accessible to non-readers, people with, you know, limited communication skills. We can capture the learning through symbols, through posters, through video. So it's quite unique, and it's something we're really proud of, and we feel we're just getting started with it. So yeah, we're at a very exciting time now.
Fantastic. And then can I ask you, Auveen, just say the dream for Blossom, say what's the dream, say, in terms of, like, say, work experience from the beneficiaries, or what could I do as an individual, or the people in BT, what can we do, or organizations like BT to work with Blossom, help Blossom?
I suppose our area of expertise, disability, is a big area. So we work specifically in the area of intellectual disability. And this is something we're really starting to get into now as well. So clearly we prepare the young people as kind of the pre-employment skills, if you like. But then we're proving that once the environment is right, there's no reason these young people can't thrive and have the same dreams and goals going forward. So what I would say, as I said, there's lots I could say, but if I was to give you a couple of tips, in your recruitment process, if the role was something that, say, didn't necessarily require somebody with literacy skills, are your recruitment adverts, are they done by video? Are they done using symbols? Have you included the possibility that somebody who doesn't have the literacy skills would be able to apply? That's just one simple idea. Individually, if you have a colleague who has an intellectual disability, just treat them like you would any other colleague. Maybe they have, limited communication, but say to them, I didn't quite understand that, or find out, is there a preferred way they have of communicating? Sometimes they might have a communication device. Don't be afraid. I think, and I'm sure you probably relate to this history, or to this, Richie, as a dad. My experience, most people want to do the right thing. But very often what stops them is they're afraid they'll do the wrong thing. So they do nothing. So I would say, don't do nothing. Always approach the person. And if you approach them with integrity and respect, you can't do the wrong thing. I think that's probably the simplest thing. But as I say, it's something we're starting to work more on here in Blossom. And my colleague Maya is currently developing an employers webinar. I know I'm due to talk to Priscilla, but we'd be really excited for BT to collaborate with us on this, because we have one side of the story, but you as employers would have the other side. And I think that could be really powerful for us to do in 2022.
Be awesome. And I know today being the day that's in it, it must be a really busy day for you, Auveen. So I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me this morning. And it's a pleasure, and I love the work that Blossom do.
Thanks so much, Richie, and thanks. And I just take this opportunity to thank all your colleagues in BT for the ongoing support. It really does, and it's not just the financial support, it's the opportunities like this. It's a proper partnership, and we really appreciate that. So thank you.
And I don't think it's too early to wish you a happy Christmas, Auveen.
Many happy returns.
To you and everybody in Blossom.
Thanks, Richie.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.